And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Satellite imagery showing a large system out here coming into the Bering Sea with a low center back to the west here, and a lot of moisture with the cold and warm front and then the occluded front right through here, bringing gusty winds and rain into the Pribilof Islands, extending down into the Aleutians, and some mid and high level clouds already reaching the southwest coast. Otherwise, not bad over the interior with some areas of sunshine, especially the Cook Inlet area up into the Susitna Valley. Temperatures rising into the mid to upper 60s around Talkeetna and down toward Big Lake, with gusty winds out of the northwest, 35 to 45 miles an hour around Kodiak Island there, clearing it out with temperatures in the 60s and sunshine in that area back into northeast Bristol Bay. Clouds up there in the Arctic coast, and then some moisture with this front pushing into the Panhandle and slowing down in that low center kind of back to just south of Cape St. Elias. That kept clouds and showers over the Copper River Basin up to the Alaska Peninsula. Some scattered light stuff up in the White Mountains there south of the Yukon River. And on the, as you can see here, this front kind of slowly pushing eastward but not moving east too fast. And on the chart, actually kind of pushing a little farther to the east there, but a lot of rain here along the Panhandle with a low center pretty much just south of Cape St. Elias there. And anywhere from about 1 to 3/4 inches of rain fell today at Ketchikan, with let's see, Petersburg had 1.37 inches during the 12-hour period ending at 3 p.m. this afternoon. And Haines and Yakutat picked up about 1 1/4 inches of rain. And then some areas here, the Copper River Basin, a few areas had maybe 1/4 to 1/3 of an inch, otherwise amounts lighter. Very scattered light here through this area with mostly cloudy skies there. And some sunshine here, portions of the interior, mostly Bristol Bay down to Kodiak Island area, and dry anyway. Some cloudiness keeping it cool in over the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta. Then this big system out here to the west, bringing winds gusting 35 to 40 miles an hour to the Pribilof Islands. There's about 1/4 of an inch of rain falling at St. Paul Island today. And lighter amounts of rain with the cold front dragging across the central Aleutians, but Adak had a peak wind gust of 41 miles per hour. And for tonight, this thing will slide inland, pushing rain in across the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta with gusty south to southeast winds. Also for St. Lawrence Island, that'll be pushing in toward the Bering Strait late tonight. Wind and rain, fog, low clouds, drizzle down to the Alaska Peninsula, back to the eastern Aleutians. Quite windy with numerous showers here for the Aleutians, and stays dry. Kodiak Island, but those winds come down significantly. In fact, they'll probably go light and variable as this ridge axis moves over the area later tonight. And light winds, Cook Inlet with some clouds, but there'll be some clearing as well. Still some lingering showers, eastern Alaska Range, Copper River Basin area, but those will be quite light. And still something of a front here holding over the Panhandle, keeping periods of light rain going there, but the amounts will be less and less, or it won't be as heavy. And then tomorrow, that mess finally kicks, most of it kicks into western Canada there, so it would be in a diminishing shower condition there for all of the southeast coast. And then just off the coast there is some clearing, so all this has to do is just move over a little, and you'll be into some dry, mostly clear weather. That'll happen tomorrow night and early on Tuesday. But first, this system pushing rain into the Kodiak Island area, increasing east to southeast winds through the passes of the Chugach Mountains, and Turnagain Arm will see an increase in the east winds. Same thing going on for the western Alaska Range. That southeast flow will start to increase the moisture again into Prince William Sound, southern Kenai Peninsula. It looks like rain tomorrow for Kodiak Island as what's left of that ridge slides off to the east. Dry central interior right up to the Arctic coast. In fact, not too bad temperature-wise up there. And gusty winds and rain with this low center covering much of the Bering Sea with gusty winds and showers, in some cases gale force winds for the Aleutians. And for Tuesday, that low center tracks into the southwest coast, somewhere around Kuskokwim Bay there, give or take. Periods of rain all the way up to the western Alaska Range into southern Cook Inlet, Bristol Bay, and along the Bering Sea side, the Alaska Peninsula. Dry over the central and western Aleutians there. Next warm front just coming onto the chart there. And again, high pressure here moves in tomorrow night and on Tuesday, the Panhandle. So Partly sunny skies over the southern southeast coast on Tuesday, increasing clouds in the afternoon with increasing chances of rain along the north coast. Periods of rain here, Prince William Sound, North Gulf Coast, so that moisture again getting up into portions of the Copper River Basin. Also look for some pretty gusty south winds, could gust to 35 miles an hour along the Copper River, Gulkana, those areas, Glen Allen, Klawasi, otherwise dry up to the Arctic coast. Lows tonight in the 30s, much of the interior, all the way up to the Arctic coast there, mid-30s for the Susitna Valley, near 40 for the Copper River Basin, and 40s to near 50 for the Panhandle, 40s out over the western areas. Highs tomorrow, 60s in the central interior there, with still in the upper 50s here. Eagle down toward Tok with more clouds, risk of a shower. Lower 60s, upper 50s, lower 60s, south central Alaska. Cooler Kodiak tomorrow with high 57. And in the Panhandle, 50s to mid 60s with a warm spot there. Haines forecast high of 65 tomorrow. That'll be followed by lows, mostly in the lower 50s and upper 40s. A little milder here over interior Alaska, mostly in the 40s now. And for the highs on Monday afternoon, 60 to 65, central and eastern interior, north of the Alaska Range. Also looking pretty mild there with mid 60s over the eastern north slope, and Dead Horse, Prudhoe Bay high near 60, 50s elsewhere up there, and 50s and lower 60s over the southeast coast. Otherwise, lower to mid 50s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians.